All right, Shalom. I want to start by saying, call law, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the Apostles of Israel, aka the Apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick. So, being that it's so much going on, but initially, which all goes roughly into the same thing, which I named the topic more family drama within the beast and the whore. Because earlier today, this morning, it said, this is from the Kiev Independent, which I'm assuming that's a Ukrainian news media, but this is all over, all right, talk about Norway, Norway is a country that's part of NATO, all right? And we all, knowing that NATO, America would not represent the beast and the whore. NATO, the EU, all these countries, all these Edomite countries. But it says Norwegian fuel supplier halts sales to U.S. Navy over Trump-Zelensky dispute, citing moral compass. But just a couple hours ago, the actual Norwegian government said that no, they will continue to supply the U.S. with whatever fuel, whatever. But this is a private company, which also brings us to another point. At first, I was going to do something along the line of the beast and hating the whore, but now it's that, but also it's what? It's sedition among men, and now they should not regard their kings nor princes, because this is an actual private company that put out this statement saying that they were going to stop supplying the U.S. with fuel. So I'm gonna read this article. I'm gonna bring another article of the update of the issue. So it says a Norwegian fuel supplier halt back bunkers will not deliver a single liter of fuel to the U.S. Navy until U.S. President Donald Trump is gone. The company's owner told media outlet Christians Norrings Live on March 1st after Trump's highly public dispute with President Vladimir Zelensky. Zelensky was poised to sign a major natural resources deal with the U.S. on February 28th when a last-minute provocation by U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance ignited a public clash. Afterwards, Zelensky was expelled from the White House, with Trump accusing him of not being ready for peace. But here it is after he signed the deal. After he signed the deal of the resources and whatnot. Now they're like, yo, we don't need you no more, because we already got what we needed from you, what we wanted from you. Now you're dismissed. Now you're expelled. And that's how Esau do. And now he's doing it to his own people. Not ready for peace. And it said the official Facebook of Haltback Bunkers, which appears to have since gone private, called the dispute the biggest shit show ever presented live on TV by the current American president and his vice president. Huge credit to the president of Ukraine for restraining himself and for keeping calm even though the USA put on a backstabbing TV show. It made us sick, the Post reads, adding that the company decided to no longer act as a fuel provider for U.S. military forces and naval vessels docking in Norway. Haltback Bunkers owner Gunnar Gran told Christians Norlings Live that his company provided U.S. warships with 3 million liters of fuel in 2024. Haltback Bunkers has many Ukrainian employees and wants to show that it maintains support for Ukraine. Gran said he believes that the boycott will not upset anyone. It said in light of Haltback Bunkers' announced boycott, Norway's defense ministry put out a statement on March 2nd reaffirming its ties with the U.S. So that's the hierarchies of Norway, because it is a private company. And it said the U.S. and Norway maintain a close and strong defense cooperation. American forces will continue to receive the supply and support they require from Norway, the statement reads. So I haven't got to get the other article because it said it's in here too. It says Norway has been supplying Ukraine with military aid in a country's fight against Russian aggression. Now, I do remember hearing about Norway doing that. It says Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Finland announced on February 24th that they will allocate additional humanitarian, military, and energy aid to Ukraine. Okay, so that was all the article. So that's causing, that's still more of Satan's house divided, because that's a NATO country, but you have a private company of that country, Norway, which is part of NATO, going against the status quo of what Norway. saying that we don't want to supply America with fuel. And it said in 2024 that this company alone supplied 3 million liters. So hold on, let's go to it. Get a scripture real quick. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 25, and it reads, "And YAHAWASHI knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." So that starts with the U.S. is divided amongst itself, NATO is divided amongst itself, these countries in NATO are divided amongst themselves, Esau as a whole nation is divided against itself. Remember, all these countries are Edomites. So this in turn, this is actually a whole kingdom divided, a kingdom of Edomites, the kingdom of Esau is all divided, whether it be the U.S., whether it be Norway, whether it be any other of these European countries, EU, NATO, all these countries. It's a bunch of divide going on. It's a bunch of divide going on here in Babylon the Great alone. And a lot of things that's with the divide amongst NATO is involving the U.S. And you gotta remember, this okay, NATO's not NATO, but Norway's saying like, yeah, okay, we'll continue to keep doing such and such. But at the end of the day, you still have, so is that the only private company that feels that way? Like, you gotta really think about it. Things being reported all the time is not always the truth. With the things they tell us, you gotta look at it like, yo, it could be things they're leaving out, and what they're leaving out is way worse. So yeah, it's just one company alone, but when as time goes on, how much more divide is going to start to come to fruition? That's what people don't understand. It's not just today. You still have the next day. So it's going to be a bunch of things happening as far as prophecy goes, that where these prophecies have to come to pass. And speaking of which, hold on, let me finish this. Brought to that, it says, "Every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." And it says, verse 26 of Matthew chapter 12. And this is YAHAWASHI speaking. And it says, "And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" Job 9:24. "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked." Esau's kingdom is ruling right now. And like the scriptures say, "For Esau the end of the world, Jacob the beginning of it that followeth." So this kingdom that we're in right now is Satan's world, that being Esau's kingdom. Because Esau runs off of the left hand of the father, the evil part. That's who's ruling right now. And now he's at his end. That's why you have all this divide going on. That's why you have all this war going on. That's why you have it's just all fucked. A brother even put in a group chat, that they said that NATO will be fighting against Russia without the help of the United States. So it's not just Norway, it's a bunch of things happening. A bunch of things happening every hour, every minute, every second. And it's all leading closer to this devil's downfall. And then YAHAWASHI's return, and then him really sticking it to him, man. All right? So I'm gonna read that again. So this is Matthew chapter 12, verse 26. It says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So how's Esau's kingdom going to stand if Esau is divided amongst themselves, man? NATO, America, the EU. They're not all on the same page. They're not all on the same page. And think about it. If Russia are Edomites and America are Edomites and they're beefing, that's part of Satan's kingdom. And that's part of Satan's house divided. How shall it stand? Everybody want to be the top guy in Esau's kingdom amongst these Edomites. But the Lord is calling the show, and the Lord has these elites that's on top, controlling both sides. And ultimately, what's going to become and amongst all of this war stuff going on, what else do you have taking place? The beast system coming into play. The beast system. Remember, not the horror system, the mark of the beast. Even though America is part of the beast per se, but it's also not. America is that whore that the beast shall hate, but it's in the midst. The beast, matter of fact, let's get it. So we're going to go into the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter. It says, and there came one of the seven angels, which one of the seven of the archangels, and it says, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, this is John the Revelator speaking, says, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. That great whore is America. Also pertaining to what? Revelation, the 19th chapter. I believe the 19th chapter, where it talks about the great judgment that's coming to the whore. And Babylon the Great is also the whore, which is speaking of Revelation 18th chapter. And it says, verse 2 of Revelation chapter 17, it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. That's America. Because all these countries always have to what? They have to somehow do business with America. Or have some kind of influence or some kind of connection to America. And it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Made drunk with the wine of her fornication, her influence, her dollar, her financial system, her profit. They profited. Remember, the nations, including these Edomite nations, these nations have profit, because it said all the inhabitants of the earth. So all these nations, including these other Edomite countries, these other heathen countries, they profit off America. They benefit from America's existence. Remember, it said the merchant shall well because of her destruction. Because why? Their prosperity is going to go low. Remember, these nations, no matter how much you don't understand, these nations profit off of America. And that's why America is so prideful. That's why you got Trump talking about, well, y'all need us. Because these nations know that in some form they still need America. That's why all these other countries like Russia, they make Russia, China, India, South Korea, South Africa, and Brazil. They're the BRICS nations. They're making it to where, like, they're making that system to where they don't need America. But ultimately, there's still going to be one world order. Because what? The whole issue of buying and selling is how the beast, the MOTB is going to come about. And the Lord said what? The scripture said, all he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor. So all these countries, all these inhabitants of the earth, they're going to cause to be saved. Because that's the mark of the beast. And in the midst of all of that, you still got all this war that's still going to take place. Because the war didn't stop. The war not going to stop just because the actual financial system changed. It's not going to stop the third world that's coming quickly. It's not going to stop sedition among men. It's not going to stop the divide of Satan's house and his kingdom. It's not going to stop the divide of Esau. It's still just all leading to his end. And as the time goes on, it's getting closer and closer. But continuing on. And I'm going to jump down. In fact, no, I'm continuing on, actually, because it's all part of it. So it says, this is Revelation chapter 17, verse 3 now. It says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Verse 5, here it gets good. It says, and upon her forehead was written a name, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. That's America. And those 10 horns mentioned in the third verse is talk about the NATO and the EU. And I believe the seven heads, it's talk about part of Esau's kingdom. I want to say Roman Empire. And this is this is the branch of the Roman Empire, because we even pertaining to Daniel the 2nd chapter. Verse 6, and it says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of YAHAWASHI. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. See? What happened over here in Babylon the Great? The oppression of Israel. The same thing that happened to us in the Roman Empire. The same thing. And who was the Roman Empire? The pagan Roman Empire, Esau. This is when Esau came into power. But most importantly, the whore, it's talking about America, this present day Rome, present day Babylon, present day land of the Chaldeans. It says, verse 7, it says, and the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Oh, and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. Verse 9. And here is the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. That's where we're living right now, that short space of the Roman Empire. Because when you go into Daniel, the 2nd chapter, this correlates with it. The tolls, because the what? The silver. I believe what what's that? The bronze? No, I know it's the waist, the stomach of the statue that in Daniel the 2nd chapter was the Roman Empire. And it says verse 11, it says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7 and goeth into perdition. Verse 12, and here where is good, because this is now talking about what we're experiencing now and what we're witnessing now. Okay, verse 12, and it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. That beast being who? Part of that Roman Empire, but it's now the NATO and the EU. Those 10 kings. NATO, the EU. The same 10 kings mentioned in Daniel the 2nd chapter. That's why the Lord said what? This spirit of prophecy, this is all prophecy. The king of Babylon, what, Nebuchadnezzar, I believe was his name? Nebuchadnezzar, he saw what's happening now. The kingdoms that came up after him. And we're living in that part of that statue, which is the Roman Empire. And the Roman Empire, but was not as strong as the one before it. Power as kings. And it says, I'm reading that again. So it's Revelation chapter 17, verse 12, and it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Those countries are part of NATO. But part of what? Part of the beast, part of the whole structure of the Roman Empire, nonetheless. 1 hour beast. And in verse 13, it says, these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Because what? They're going to make war with the Lamb, which is what? YAHAWASHI. What does it say? I'm going to go to Daniel real quick. Go to one precept. What verse is it? That stone. Yeah, that stone that was in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. That stone to talk about the kingdom to come. YAHAWASHI's kingdom. So this is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 44, because it said what? It said what? They shall make war with the Lamb being YAHAWASHI. So, in verse 44 of Daniel, the 2nd chapter says, and in the days of these kings, those kings are those same 10 kings. And of the Roman Empire and whatnot, EU and NATO. Yeah, so in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever, because the Lord is going to destroy Esau. Esau's at the top right now. All these NATO countries, EU countries, countries of the beast, it's Esau. They're Edomites. Point blank period, they're Edomites, including America. Esau. Donald Trump is an Edomite. More likely he could be a small hat. Zelensky is a small hat, an Amalekite. Brother, we was at camp yesterday. Brother bought him and said he's of a Jayish descent. Those small hats over in our land right now, those are Amalekites. Esau. All part of the same wicked kingdom. All right? Yeah, that was pretty much it on that. So let me go back to Revelation. And the Lord, and they're gonna sorely be destroyed. They're gonna be Yahawashi gonna get so busy on Esau and these nations, even 2/3 of our people. That's the day of the Lord that's coming. People think that's gonna be all sweet for everybody. No, it's gonna be not sweet for most. It's only a select few the Lord is coming back to deliver. The Lord is coming back to destroy Esau's kingdom and destroy these nations that what? They live the same people that he said what? Look, in Revelation 17:2, it says, with whom, because talk about that whore, which is America, it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. That's talking about the whole earth. So aside from the nation of Israel, who's at the bottom, all these other nations have lived deliciously with Esau, especially America. They've lived deliciously. They've committed fornication. They've been drunk off the wrath of her fornication. So they've been under America's influence. But what kingdom is the Babylon the Great, that whore in? Esau's kingdom. Job 9:24, 2nd Ezra 6:9, for Esau at the end of the world. And Jacob is beginning of the file. This goes all the way back to Genesis. The very start of the blessings between Jacob and Esau from Isaac. The covenant from Abraham, Isaac unto Jacob. This is all playing out. This is all the Lord's, this is the Most High story playing out before our very eyes every day. Every day. Let me jump down. Oh, okay, so I was at verse 14. So this is Revelation 17:14. It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. That the stones that was in Daniel the 2nd chapter. Talk about the Lord's kingdom. It said, well, he's going to destroy these kingdoms. And then his kingdom is going to be set up. And that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for Yahawashi's kingdom. Because when Yahawashi comes back to rule on this earth we're on, we're going to be good. The nation of Israel, the children of Jacob, starting with the elect. Okay, verse 15, it says, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, which is America, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. That's NATO. That's the EU. Norway, or a private company in Norway, talk about we're no longer going to supply the U.S. with fuel. The same company that said what? It supplied 3 million liters of fuel to America just in 2024 alone. The least of the flock shall draw them out, Ukraine. This whole thing, a lot of things are stemming from that meeting with Ukraine. Well, the Ukrainian president. They said they didn't like the way, they said it was a shit show. So yeah, it says they said these shall hate the whore. So these are their Edomite counterparts. This is all the same kingdom. It said they shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Those are those missiles. Because not only are they own, their allies going to come at them, they still got these other countries that's going to shoot them, these other nations. You got Pakistan talking about they're building missiles that could eventually strike the U.S. China, which is Moab, they talk about long-range missiles, this, war with the U.S., that. Russia, which are also Edomites. Everybody's ganging up against America. And soon enough, you're going to have it to where their own allies, the scriptures say that thus saith the Lord. It said, these shall hate the whore. Babylon, the 50th chapter. Jeremiah, the 50th chapter says what? All those that bend the bow shoot at her and spare no arrows, even her own allies. Those that live deliciously with her. And this is the Lord's doing. And it's only a matter of time before this comes to pass. This takes place. This shall take place. What did Daniel tell the king of Babylon? This dream is for sure. This dream shall surely come to pass, basically. And it's coming to pass as we speak. Whenever did you see this many Edomite divide amongst Esau, these countries, these NATO, EU, whatnot? And it's been the most since the last few years. Ever since the shit started with Russia, Ukraine, and then them small heads in Palestine. Everything has been starting cooking more and more. And in the midst of all that, they've been what? Getting their new finance, the global reset. The beast system. And then ultimately what? The beast mark, which some people already have. And they're starting the cause right now. They're getting things in order right now. Universal basic income. No one shall work but still get paid. What system is that? It ain't gonna be cash. It ain't gonna be checks. So what is that gonna be? That's gonna be the MOTB. And they say that they think they planning another emic. That's another part of the prophecy. What? The plagues. The many plagues. Oh, okay. So this Revelation chapter 17, verse 17, it says, "For YAHAWAH BAHASHAM have put in their hearts to fulfill his will." Fulfill. This is about the Lord's will. No other God to talk about these other nations fulfilling his will. Their will. You don't hear Allah talk about all the nations fulfilling his will. All right. It says, "For YAHAWAH BAHASHAM have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM shall be fulfilled." There it go right there. That's what's happening right now. And the beast is the NATO, and the head of NATO, EU, all that is America. That's why I said the beast shall hate the whore. They all coincide with each other. It says, "And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth." That's America, because they rule. Because they was, one would say technically America is not part of the EU and not part of NATO. But NATO, they're part of it. But the countries that the 10 kings, it's all about the other countries that's part of it. But America is in its own separate entity as being a whore. But they all in cahoots with each other. But the whore and the beast are two different entities, because the whore is America. Babylon the Great is not the 10 kings. Babylon the Great is talking about solely America. And the beast and the whore is going to have beef. And said that the beast shall hate the whore. Why are they going to hate the whore? Because why? They're fucking up the business. They're causing too much stress. They said that they didn't want the whole reason of the whole Russia-Ukrainian thing taking place is because of Ukraine wanting to become a member of NATO. And the other NATO countries are being hesitant about it because why? They don't want to go to war. Wanting to stop delivering fuel to the U.S. It's only going to get worse in the United States, which is Babylon the Great, that whore mentioned in Revelation 17 chapter and 19 chapter. Babylon the Great, the Revelation 18 chapter, so on and so forth. Isaiah the 47 chapter. They're going to continue to burn bridges amongst their own people against their allies, man. And ultimately it's going to lead to the ultimate destruction of America. So, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, KAKADASH. Double honors to the Positive Israel, a.k.a. the Positive Great Millstone. And peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth sincerity. Shalom.